Happy Tuesday. Day 2.
Of this week.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. A little tea time today.
Yeah. Yes. It's a good day for tea. Got some snow this morning. It was pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been really chilly today, so tea's great. You want to kick it off with your card of the day?
Yeah, sure. What the heck.
Let's see what Jay's cards are speaking to him today. Just getting settled in.
Yeah, I feel like they're talking a lot today.
Who is?
Cards. They're just like wow or something, you know, like King of Cups.
It's not bad.
Upright.
Yeah.
It's a cool card. Let's see what it says in the book.
I'll hold it up for you. I don't think we saw this one before, did we?
Diplomat. Generous leader.
Pretty
Benevolence. The King of Cups watches a stormy sea from his throne carved into the rocks. The cup in his right hand symbolizes his association with the element of water. His lotus-shaped scepter signifies that he has learned to master the creativity of his subconscious. His foot is extending over the stone without touching the water. This represents the control he has over the water without being affected by it. The octopus is depicted wrapped on the king's throne, identifying him as the Lord of all seas. The octopus symbolizes adaptability, intelligence, and intuition. The ship at sea illustrates how expansive the king's power is. Pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. I feel like that's a fantastic card.
It's a nice card.
Kind of sums you up.
I'm certainly not controlling ships at sea from afar.
You're controlling the universe.
Yeah.
I like there's a lot of movement in this card though.
Yeah.
Like artistically done so well. I love it.
There's a ton of that, and that's one of the things I like a lot about this. This deck is a wood cut, so like it was carved and pressed into ink, the wood, and then pressed into paper, and so getting some of these lines is difficult and very impressive. Like that flowy movement is really cool, and it sort of is a common thread in the illustrations throughout the deck. And I kind of like what it symbolizes too, because there's like an element of balance there between the positive and the negative space, and like a flowing, and then sort of everything being connected, even the stuff that sort of looks like maybe it isn't, because stuff can be so complex, and it depends on where you're looking at it from, that whether or not it makes sense, that like, oh yeah, that's actually a part of that, and you just wouldn't know unless you went looking for it, you know, like that sort of stuff is like, oh, that's how life is. That's one of my favorite aspects of it.
Yeah. No, it was a great card. I really liked it. Do you feel like it spoke to you today? You said your cards were speaking to you a lot.
Yeah, it's just that they felt loud or something, you know?
They want you to do more with them, maybe?
No, maybe they just want me to listen.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. They want to be held by you. Well, you got that moon magic on it, so now they're ready to connect with you again. I feel like the moon has been messing me up today. I feel like I've just had a lot of loud, like, rage. Kind of. You know? Like, just felt really annoyed. And, like, wanting to be, like, loud about it, too.
No, I
you
sort of
know?
what you mean.
And not, but feeling like it took a lot of effort and control to just be a stable human today.
Yeah. No, I kind of know what you mean. Unfortunately.
Right? Like, man. I'm feeling better now.
It's good.
I had a little bit of exercise, a little meditation.
Yeah, a little exercise really helps.
Yeah.
Meditation too, for sure. Sometimes even just like a glass of water, you know, like something silly like that. Just like drink a whole glass of water. It's like something to break your like negativity cycle. It's hard to be negative when like you're drinking a whole glass of water because you're kind of like, this is a little weird and not too normal, but also it's kind of nice sometimes to just, you know, drink a whole glass at once to do a thing.
The sun. Ooh. Quite interesting. I just was checking if I like messed up how I put them, you know.
Oh, that's pretty.
Another major card.
I like that, right? You like that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, I do like that one.
I mean, it's not the moon, but
Right?
the
It's
sun
like,
is pretty wicked.
so again, I just kind of like said, like, show me what I need to see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy with it. All right, so this is the sun god with his arms raised above his head. He holds the eternal flame of light, the life of creation. All ancient sun gods were associated with the procreation of life because of the sun's source of light and warmth which fertilized life on earth. Lugh was the Celt sacrificial sun god whose death was celebrated with the festival of Lammas on the 1st of August, traditional time of reaping the harvest, fruition of life. He was a warrior, a champion of the Celts in their early battles against other invading tribes. He was known to the Gauls as Lugh the Long-Handed.
I think they were like typically more predominantly Germanic tribes.
Celtic.
But I could be wrong. No, the Gauls.
Okay.
I think it was like Germanic and like.
So yeah, it says he was known to the Gauls and
Eastern
Irish
Europe.
Celts as Lugh the Long-Handed. He possessed a magic spear which flashed fire and roared in a loud voice when used in battle. Like
That's
before
cool.
he was the god, they say
Right.
like he was a man.
Right.
And so as the Celtic race evolved,
Hello.
their religion also reached a higher
Sorry.
philosophy. No, it's okay. You just startled me. Implied the struggle of the soul with the powers of darkness. So it says that Druid thought and teaching reached astute knowledge and wisdom before the Romans invaded Britain. So by the time Christianity arrived, the seeds had already been sown regarding a sacrificial god. So Jesus kind of replaced this god. The sun was the seat or center of
It's
this
funny how often
divinity.
that happens, huh?
Exactly.
It's so obvious that everything is connected. Like once you start learning enough history, it's like,
Yes.
oh man, humans kind of keep just doing the same stuff over again and over again, calling it different things.
Exactly. So it's
I'm wondering why
symbolic.
we're having the same problems. It's like, well, we're not doing anything differently, so.
It's symbolic of the resurrection of Christ, and the women and 2 children represent the birth of light and new hope, the birth of Christianity. Message of love and forgiveness. You know, it just mentions like the Holy Grail legend. Male and female principles of life. Integration of the personality and character related to the positive aspects of character. The powerful drive of the querent could be termed masculine. Also represents the masculine or patriarchal influence of the father or the male partner if the querent is female. A very positive card to draw if contemplating parenthood. Generally speaking, it is linked to growth and maturity. The sacrificial aspect is the responsibility of the family, which overrides some personal ambitions. A sign of achievement and skillful talents. However, I did pull it upside down.
No.
So ill-dignified, the sign of arrogance and vanity, but not a bad card generally. The querent will still be successful, but he or she will have to resist being overly confident and pompous. Some extravagance is the weak point to watch. Overcommitment in financial affairs may occur, and caution is advised. Interesting.
The sun is a sign of achievement and skillful talents. Shows the strength of a character which has matured. I like that about the sun. That's cool. I like how this stuff gets me thinking, like about stuff and like life and decisions and the ripples,
Yes.
that like your existence sort of creates. Just existing is creating these effects, and so like you have a responsibility to be mindful almost, like because there's so much. That's the impression that I'm getting the more that I look into anything, any kind of religion. It's like there's a thread of personal responsibility that sort of like is common, right? Like it sort of seems like there's a if you're approaching it from a good faith perspective, I think there's a like contemplative nature.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to catch that.
That I've always sort of enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think on that card, like why that was the card that I pulled today, and obviously like upside down, like what is.
I have a theory if you'd like to hear.
Sure, absolutely. Sometimes I need that.
I mean, I suspect it's professional.
Yeah.
For you, because you're so good at what you do. It would be easy to be overconfident, especially around people who maybe aren't the best or are new at what they're doing or what you do. You know what I mean? Or did sort of like, because you're that might be having something to do with it. I imagine the part that referenced like of the male figure, it has to do with me, but I wasn't paying a ton of attention there. Just because you don't really have much of a relationship with your dad.
Yeah, it just says the masculine or patriarchal influence of the male partner.
Yeah.
It says it's a positive card to draw.
No, yeah, and I believe that. It's even the upside down version. It's like you're not wrong. It's like just maybe be mindful about how
Don't be arrogant.
Yeah, how you're going about correcting things or helping make things be the best version that they can be, right? Which is pretty much, I think, who you are. Sort of like if you're a part of something, you want it to be like good. So when you're doing that, try to be mindful.
And then it says overcommitment in financial affairs may occur.
Yeah, it's just saying you can do more than you can. I think that's basically everyone's standard for the holiday season in America is a slight overcommitment, right?
Yeah.
But I think so far this year, at least, we've kind of planned to not do that, and have been somewhat successful, at least, right?
Yeah. Also, I think, it talks about like a birth, and because it's the god of light, it's like that procreation, fertility, and obviously in a literal sense, it can mean having a child. Mm-hmm. But for us, we're giving birth to something new, like a new life for ourselves, like a new
creative
type
endeavor.
Of union between ourselves that I think is flourishing. So I could see like that having symbolic meaning there.
Right, a reference sort of to that. I can see that too. For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to not be, like, I'm always so concerned about being, like, overly confident and not allowing myself to continue learning and growing. Like, that's something that I always am worried about, that I don't want to feel that I have no room to grow.
Right.
So...
I would say that academically, I don't think I've ever seen you behave that way. I don't believe, at least.
Academically? Like, with my learning?
Yeah,
Like
with
schooling?
Yeah, with learning stuff. You know what I mean?
But you see me do it in other ways?
I don't know. Can I hear it specifically again?
Just what it said.
Oh no. I mean, like, what do you?
Like arrogance, like being so arrogant that I can't learn.
Right. So, yeah, like definitely not like in a classroom sense or setting when it comes to like academic facts and theories and methods and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But sometimes maybe on like an emotional kind of level.
Like I have nothing to learn in my emotional state.
Yeah, like no room to grow or no desire to, and so you're not creating room to grow, right? Sometimes you have to force yourself. You have to make room for that growth, and that's why you haven't progressed past the point that you have, because you've sort of been holding yourself back by not giving yourself the space you need to do it the way that you do it, and it is everybody does things differently, so you know who knows how, but like sometimes I think that's what holds people back, because they don't give themselves the space or the room or whatever to do things, and so then they are not wrong when they're saying like, but I can't, I don't have anywhere else to go, like I'm doing everything I can. It's like, well, yes and no, right? Like currently the way that things are, but like you could do this differently, and then there, you know what I mean? Could be more space.
I see what you're saying.
Space for that.
Not like entirely understanding in like the emotional piece of it, but I understand in general what you're saying. But my question is more about that arrogance piece. Like I feel like what you said doesn't link with being too arrogant to learn and grow. And that's something that I feel like has always been like ingrained in me to like not be a narcissist.
Yeah, no, I don't.
So that's like...
I don't. You're right. I don't see it that way. It's more like of a stubbornness, I guess.
I can see a stubbornness.
More, I guess, what I would be referring to. I'm not trying to be mean, of course. I'm just...
No, I am stubborn. I'm, I'm Italian.
We both be very stubborn.
We're hard-headed. But, yeah, that's just not what I took from that when it was talking about, like, being overly confident.
Yeah.
So that was the piece that, like, just stuck to me, because it's like, oh, I'm always worried about coming across as overly confident. And then I think sometimes I give the impression that I don't know what I'm talking about. Right. Or that I'm not, like, because then I'm not as confident. Because I'm not putting on the air of like...
Fine line to walk, right?
Right. Well, and it always annoys me because I'm like, I actually am...
thanks for the follow.
Capable. Yeah, thank you.
Hello there. Would you like us to pull you a card, or do you have a topic of conversation you'd like to discuss? We're just...
Chatting.
Yeah, sort of chatting about the card Anna Marie just pulled.
The sun card.
It was a good one. We both got good cards today. I had the King of Cups, and she had the Sun. But yeah, so that's what I was kind of thinking for that maybe.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
I don't know. I don't know what mine really is saying. I think sort of just that.
I think it's boosting your confidence.
Yeah, and that's kind of the theme. It seems the past couple of polls, right? I think have been in that sort of line.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Thank you. We appreciate you dropping in.
Thanks.
It is not. It's not our first stream.
No.
We've just kind of been like slowly rolling it in together.
This is 3 or 4, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just
Usually.
trying to like just start, you know?
Yep. Yeah, hopefully have some cool conversations.
Yeah, trying to like get to meet people and yeah, just chat for a little bit. Doing it Mondays and Tuesdays is what we agreed to for now.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And we figured we'd just start with like a tarot poll and like we'll progress into whatever
Yeah.
flows for us.
Well, yeah, we end up talking about life and the universe and consciousness. You know.
Feel free to grab a drink. We're having tea.
It's pretty good tea.
So you said that you had a debate.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I said possibly I would come up with a debate topic, but I wasn't able to devote much time to that today because I had a lot to do at work. So.
I was trying to get my like brain ready to decide. Were you planning to be like, you're gonna be this side and I'm gonna be the opposite?
No, I would just let you choose.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna be that generous. I thought you were gonna be like.
No, I don't even see that as generosity. I see that as like fairness. If I'm picking the topic, then it's only fair that I let you pick which side you want to, you know, if you want to defend or argue for.
Are you prepping stuff? Like, are you researching and prepping things?
Oh, no.
Okay, that's good to know.
I mean, I wouldn't have time. If I had done it today, it would have just been... we're in Pennsylvania, outside Philadelphia. Yeah, I would have just like picked a topic and...
I thought you were going to like make me have to come with like points to debate.
No, I'm not giving you homework.
Well, that's where my brain went.
Yeah, no, that wasn't what I had planned at all. I was just thinking like I usually come across something cool like science-y, you know, and I listened to some psychology podcasts today. Actually, there was one that I thought you would be interested in. I can't remember the term that I wanted to reference for you because I thought it was really cool, but it was about like learning and progress. And it was so she was talking about it in the sense of like grit and how it is like talent times effort. And but that it's actually kind of more than that. It's sort of like talent times effort. Like you kind of have to multiply it by effort twice because of how important effort is, and how like kind of not important talent is, except that it is. It is obviously
a factor,
because,
right?
Right. It's a factor, and that's how she was like. So that the talent, the effort. She's like, if you're at a 0 or a 1 for the talent, you can put in like all the effort in the world, but you're only ever gonna be what you are at it because you're multiplying by 0 or 1, so you're not getting much factors out of it, But anything else, and you can really increase your skill and basically become proficient at a thing if you're just willing to put in the time. Yeah,
I was gonna say there's been a lot of research with that in education where, like, you can still have 0 talent, so to speak, but your effort will change your talent factor.
Right.
So you may initially be coming at a 0, but the effort times 2 can shift your talent.
And she was looking at it from a
just like
determination, I think, perspective. So, like, how likely a person was to put in that effort.
Oh, right. Based on their talent level.
I guess based on, like, making that assessment, I think was one of the factors that she was looking at. And, and like all of that stuff. And generally calling it, like, grit. Yeah. And determination, I guess, is another way to say it. Yeah.
They, so in education, they call the theories around that are with the idea of a growth mindset, which isn't just, oh, yeah, I keep learning. It actually has to do with just that. Don't assume, oh, I'm a bad artist, so I don't do art and I'll never get good. it is the practice and the effort, and it cites different studies and like famous people, like obviously like Michael Jordan, you know, and just how different people attempted different things and maybe started off terribly,
Right.
but with their effort they were actually able to be what we would deem successful at it, even if it wasn't the like genius level, but still you can still be good or successful at things regardless of your like entry point. But unfortunately that level of effort is like the amount of work you have to put in, and it's not a level playing field for sure. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I love listening to those things.
It was an interesting 40 minutes or whatever.
It that particular stuff, they always look at how, like with little kids, they are naturally invested in trying everything and getting better at it.
Right.
And it's our words, our passive remarks, whether to them or about others, that shift their perceptions,
Sure, right.
and then they put it on themselves, and they will begin to
discourage
themselves. And they can begin to put it on themselves even at 5 years old, where I'm not good at that, so I don't even try it, which is really disheartening.
Have they looked at it the other way though? Does it work the other way? So
it does.
Positivity and like a positive growth mindset, like you said.
Yeah, so that's like the whole big push that everyone's like, a growth mindset. Like when you really understand it, you do different like practices to change their brain and their thinking about things. And obviously the word like yet comes up a lot. Like I may not be where I want to be yet.
Yeah.
And so
I can't do that yet.
Where's my plan? What am
I doing to make it happen?
Right. And what am I, and reminding yourself of like what you are getting from this. Like, oh, but I just have fun sketching.
Right.
And that's
or I enjoy
good
watching
enough.
my improvement, you know.
Yeah, I like carving out time for this, however much it may be, whatever. It's But it's fascinating. It always makes me feel like, you know, like kids are gems of this world and we are rotten adults.
That's kind of how I sort of see it too.
Right? Like if we're going to be saved by anybody, it's going to be a child.
I mean, yeah, I guess there's somebody with somebody who's able to somehow retain their like, you know, childlike perspective on the world without it like seriously negatively affecting them, because that's typically what it does, I think, to people. If you don't, you would have. I mean, it would be a very unique person that could retain that. And
well, that's also why they say play is
so important.
But for adults,
yeah,
like there's a big push now that they've done some more studies on it.
I love to play.
To like let yourself play a little bit, and just the type of creativity you get.
I love games and puzzles and making up games or puzzles. Like that's a lot of fun too. Like that's like, it's weird.
It's
that
really fun.
Activates like almost like a slightly different part of the brain than like just games or puzzles for me. Like that, because you're constantly having to like zoom out and see like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Anytime my brain has to do that, I feel like there's like a special part of my brain that gets activated that I'm like, oh, this is like a fun challenge to do regularly. Like,
yeah.
Try and keep this all straight and make all these connections make sense, you know? Like my brain likes doing that, so.
Oh, absolutely. I love doing stuff like that. When I was little, I used to make up games all the time.
Yeah.
Like that was like how I played after school. Was like,
me and my brother used to make up games.
Right? It's so fun to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we should try it. Maybe that's what we'll do next stream.
Try to make up a game.
Yeah, join us. We're coming up on a half hour here, so we're probably going to be calling it, but I think we might try that next time. Make up a game.
A tarot game?
I don't know. Yeah, some kind of game. Any kind of game. That's the fun of it. Just whatever you have around. Whatever sounds like a good time, right?
Yeah.
That's how I did it when I was a kid, at least.
Yeah, normally mine were outside. Because
Yeah.
I had to, like, be outside.
Yeah, I was outside that time.
So I was like, okay, bye.
All right.
Well, thank you for joining us and chatting. We hope you chat some more.
Yeah, we'll see you maybe next time. Have a good night.
Have a great rest of your week.
Yeah.